Hey everyone, it's Mookin FTW here, back with yet another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. In this episode, we're tackling one that I have a bit of a weak spot for, which is the Standup coaster. It's an old school coaster based off the Togo stand-up coaster that I think maybe in Japan there's still a few left, but I think in Europe or America they're pretty much non-existent. And they're really cool because they also remind me of RCT1. But they are quite intense and they have a higher nausea rating if you've ever built one. They're also quite limited in terms of what you can do with them. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So the layout is going to be pretty basic. It's just going to be a chain lift into a half loop, and a full loop, half loop corkscrew, then a bit of some bank turns into a corkscrew and a helix, and that's pretty much it. So pretty simple layout, but I have some unique things that I want to try in this roller coaster. So I made a minor adjustment there. I wanted to kind of do like a below or underground section that didn't quite work, so I'm just going for a flat part where I'm going to build a tunnel. But the main thing I wanted to try here is, now I've looked up pictures of Togo stand-up coasters, and they use, just like the old school aero loopers, they use this very boxy, archaic style of supports, if you will, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and recreate here. It does take a decent amount of time, but I wanted to try my hands and see if I can make this work, so to say. And you can see me trying it out. I'm using JCat Steelworks because they have these very nice steel or straight beams, if you will, and it's already taken shape. I think it actually looks quite cool, and if you look up pictures again of old aero loopers or old Togo stand-ups, I think you'll find that they kind of match decently, at least. And but it does take a decent amount of time to build this. So for this roller coaster, I didn't have any crazy theming in mind. What I just had in mind is, okay, can I try and replicate these kind of old school lift hills with these boxy supports? And as it's coming together, as you can see here, I think I did a pretty decent job. But again, I'll leave that for you guys to I'll leave that for you guys in the comment section to see if that's actually the case. So I'm not going to do this obviously for the whole ride. And again, that old school aero loopers don't have that, generally speaking. It's mostly for the lift hill. So for the rest of the track, I'm just going to resort to some JCat Steelworks for these loopings here, because I like these looping supports. And for the rest, I'm going to resort to Moby Steel Jungle, which is again the go-to add-on for me when it comes to placing custom supports. It's a bit time-consuming compared to JCat Steelworks, but again, you can get some really nice custom supports with a lot of detail into them. So it does take a lot of time, but it's very rewarding, but basically, so to say. So here I have I'm just going over the ride to place basic supports all over the place. I do have some pre-made supports for the corkscrew, which don't line up perfectly because this track is a little different than the Intamin or a B&M style track. But it does line up good enough. It sticks out a little bit, but with RC3 you can't have everything. So it's like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna settle for this and call it a day. It's not gonna be perfect every single time. So I'm just gonna go over the entire ride, place supports where I can, and then use that offset cap to kind of make sure that the support touches the track. So that's it for the kind of basic support. So here I'm gonna go ahead and add more layers to it. So first of all, I'm going to make sure that this half loop corkscrew is properly supported with kind of a horizontal support, and of course a T support on the top. And of course, we can't just have vertical pillars, vertical beams. We also need some horizontal beams to kind of absorb the stress the track gets when a train comes along. Which is exactly what we're doing here. And of course, to add some extra detail to these supports, we're adding flanges. I'm also adding, using this kind of unusual color scheme for me, which is kind of this, what is it, like red, pinkish track with the yellow supports. I kind of like the way it looks. Again, I'm always trying to do something a little bit different. And in this one, I think it looks quite nice. I'm going to plop down my go-to station design, because again, I just really like it. I'm going to add some standard pathing for now. Because this is very little pathing towards the start of the ride. So I don't really need to use BC's path mods for something like this. Gonna add some canvas tents for the guests so they can chill under the sun as they're waiting for the ride. Add the catwalk, of course, to the brake section, and of course the chain lift. And here's what I planned for this straight section. I have a photo section, I believe, with a tunnel with some fog, because I like to use these tunnels with fogs. So that's the layout of the coaster done. It's pretty simple, but you know, it is, you know, again, the layout is pretty simple. It's a pretty archaic roller coaster, so to say. And the main focus for this one is to kind of replicate a classic Togo stand-up, and also that really cool design when it comes to the supports. So there you go, guys. That's the Togo stand-up roller coaster kind of completed. I think it looks quite nice. It's kind of an old school roller coaster that kind of close to my heart. I have a weak spot for these. And yeah, I like it a lot. But again, I'll leave that up to you guys whether you like this design as well. And yeah, I'm a bit of a sucker for these old school stand-up coasters. So let's go ahead and ride this. Let's see what it's like. It's not going to be super intense or anything, but it's going to be a pretty fun ride, I imagine. So here we go. We're making our way to the top, and as we look down, we can see that classic boxy support structure from from that old school kind of Aero Togo, you know, coasters. Here we go. Turn around into our looping. Nice. Into our little tunnel. Oh, I don't have a photo section there. I can place one there, but there you go. Into some turns here. We're going to turn around after we had that corkscrew into another corkscrew right here. Yeah, that's a nice transition. Into some corners to the right, and then into a big helix. And then some final bank turns into the brake section, which we're going to hit right now. Nice. So pretty simple but effective. I think it ticks all the boxes for an old school stand-up coaster. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and get a nice little free look view here. Let me first take away the UI here, the user interface. Let me just gotta name a guest David Walsh so you can hide the UI. I don't know why they put that under the cheese, but there you go. They did. So let me go ahead and get a nice little free look view of this roller coaster here. Let's see here. Yeah, that's nice. There we go. A little bit different. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's nice. So there you go, guys. That's the stand-up coaster finished. Episode 55 in the bag. I'll be back with episode 56. But until then, thank you very much for watching and have yourself a wonderful day.